and welcome to our April book haul. So in our March book haul, I said that I was hoping we would acquire less books in April because we got quite a lot of books last month, and unfortunately we also got quite a few books this month. So I'm actually going to haul 39 books for you today, which is more than I wanted it to be, but also we have had some pre-orders come in from Waterstones because we have recently come out of our third lockdown in the UK. All of the Waterstones stores were closed, so if you pre-ordered when the shop was open and got it sent to a store for collection, you couldn't collect it until they reopened. So there's a few in here that are from that. We've got some more from the free bookshop again. It was my birthday, so I've got a couple of birthday presents to haul for you. Yeah, so let's get on with it really. First off, I'm going to show you our gorgeous set of Fairy Loot books. And this is the Graceling set by Kristen Shaw. So this is the first book, Graceling, with the signed page and the gorgeous foiling on the dust jacket. We also have Fire, which is signed, Bitter Blue, which is book 3, and Winterkeep, which is book 4. Sean did an unboxing of these ones that I will link for you if you would like to see more of our thoughts on this set. But I ordered those a couple of months ago and they finally got here, which is exciting. I haven't read them yet. Sean thought I had. I haven't read them yet, but I've always been interested in them and they're just such stunning covers. So then I will show you the 2 books that I got for my birthday, and these are both from my mummy. She is amazing, and she got me the Red Rising Sons of Ares Volume 1 and 2 graphic novel. I didn't know that there was a second volume. I knew that there was a first volume because I have the first 3 in single issues, but then I'd forgotten to pick up the rest of them. So I've been umming and ahhing over whether to get hold of a copy or not. And I didn't know that Mum didn't know that I didn't know that Mum knew I didn't have them. So I was not expecting this at all, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Pierce Brown's world in a different way. So this is a prequel to the Red Rising series. If you've been here before, you'll know it's my favourite series of all time, so it is impressive that I haven't read these yet. But this follows a terrorist organisation called the Sons of Ares as they found them, I guess. But yeah, it sounds really interesting, and I'm loving the art style just on the cover, so I think it's going to be just as gorgeous throughout. I didn't read many graphic novels anymore, but oh, we've got some bright bits. Definitely looks interesting. I'm up for that. So then I will haul the free books that we got for you this month. So we've got a nice little stack of ones that we picked up from the free book box. We donated some more, so we thought we would grab some more, and I'm just going to try and reorganise a little pile for my Graceling books. I've got too many books and too little sofa. So yeah, we got some more. Some of these we got last month and I forgot to haul them because I had 2 bags worth to haul from the month before that I'd forgotten about. But you'll see, they're all just books that we picked up for free. So I have In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. As far as I'm aware, Ruth Ware writes thrillers, and I've seen a lot of recommendations for her writing. I know Books and Lala, Ruth Ware is one of her favourite authors. So I thought, seeing as this one was free, I would pick it up. I've also got The Neighbour by Lisa Gardner. This is another book which is a crime thrillery type. I'm not sure whether this is part of a series because most of Lisa Gardner's books, then you can read them that they stand alone, but they follow the same character, so I prefer to read them in order. I've only read a couple of her books, but the one that I can remember off the top of my head was Crash and Burn, and I gave that 5 stars. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy the rest of her books when I eventually get to them. Sean hauled 2 Halo books, which are Ghosts of Onyx and The Cole Protocol, which we donated to the free book box because he forgot he already had copies of them. So he had 2 copies, which is why I told him we were unhauling them. I mean, I asked him, obviously. I was like, do you have 2 copies for a reason? He's like, no. Okay, that's fine. We'll unhaul them. And then they were in the box and he's like, I don't have these. Yeah, you do. No, it's definitely not these ones. We get them home. He has them. But apparently they're staying. They're slightly different editions, so it's fine. It's fine. We have Bilbo the Lifeguard Dog by Stephen Jameson. I like non-fiction. I like dogs. It sounds like this one's going to be sad, but it also looks really awesome because he's got lots of pictures in his little lifeguard jacket. So I think this is going to be one to read when I just want something that's a bit easy and a bit light-hearted, but also has a sad ending. We've got a couple of books that we got for Sophia and Ezra, and those are That's Not My Monkey, we don't have this one yet, and we love that That's Not My Books. And also The Owls of Blossom Wood, Lost and Found by Catherine Coe. So it's a very short story, but it's got like lots of illustrations in it. And Sophia loves owls. She goes, hoo, hoo. So she will like reading this. And I'm trying to move her on to slightly longer books because she enjoys the picture books, but sometimes I think she wants them to be a bit longer because we'll read them over and over and over again. So I'm hoping that this will mean that she will also enjoy a longer story. Just a few more for you today. We've got Siege by Sarah Messi. I've read Sarah Messi's Here Be Dragons Snowdonia Chronicles series and I really enjoyed them, and I spotted this one in there and I thought I would grab it. It is a book about somebody whose life gets changed after a shooting. I'm guessing they are part of Siege. So it definitely sounds like it's going to be a gripping one. We have Rules for Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. I did have a copy of this on my NetGalley, but it wasn't until after I got the copy that I realised that it spoils the twist endings for either 7 or 8. 7? 8? I don't know. In America it's got like the name and it's like 8 Perfect Murders or 7 Perfect Murders. And yeah, it doesn't tell me in here because this is the UK copy. But it spoils the twists of classic crime and thriller novels because it's basically like the killer in this book is reenacting those crimes. So I want to read those books first. I will link down below. It's Scientist's Book Channel, I think is the name of the channel. But somebody is doing an 8 perfect... It is 8. It's definitely 8. I want to say 8 automatically. 8 Perfect Murders. Read along. So it's reading all of the books that are mentioned in this story in 1 month. So I'll link that down below in case any of you are interested in reading them. I couldn't get hold of them all in time, which is annoying because I would have loved to have read this, but that is a priority for the next couple of months. And then I have 3 that are kind of contemporary, chiclety. They've got gorgeous covers, so I picked them up for that reason. I don't know anything about them though. And those are The One That Got Away by Helen Warner, Million Love Songs by Carol Matthews, and The Rules of Seeing by Joe Heap. So I don't know anything about those, but I've said I wanted to read more contemporary and more romantic books this year. This is mostly inspired by Aoife because every time she does a TBR video or like books on her radar, I just add them all because they've got such cute covers. So we'll link her channel down below as well. If you don't already watch Pretty Purple Polka Dots, then you definitely should. But yeah, so I'm blaming her for all these. I don't even know if she's read any of them, but I'm still blaming her. Right. So, that's a big chunk of books done. Now I'll move on to the Curiosity books for this month. So I will also link our Curiosity boxing for you. So it was me, Sophia and Ezra this month. Sophia wasn't sure whether she wanted to take part or not, so she's on the floor for most of it. But I think it's literally like 3 minutes because Ezra just ripped his way through the tissue paper because he was so excited to get into these. And this month's books are The King's Birthday Suit by Peter Bentley and Claire Powell, Barbara Throws a Wobbler by Nadia Shireen, which I think is still one of the greatest picture book titles I've ever heard, and The Boys by Lauren Ace and Jenny Luley, and this one is actually signed. So Sophia and Ezra get to have their own signed book, which is really, really cute, and also Ezra has already started to eat it. So it's definitely going to last for a while. I will move on to proofs. So I got sent 2 advance copies by Muswell Press this month, and those are The Final Round by Bernard O'Keefe, which is the first book in the D.I. Garibaldi series, and The Water Garden by Louise Soraya Black. I talk about these a little bit more in my May TBR video, so if you'd like to learn a bit more about these, they will be over there. But The Final Round comes out on May 27th, and The Water Garden comes out on June 3rd. And one book from a charity shop this month, which Sean found, and it's a first edition of Murder Most Unladylike. We already have a copy, but this is the one that has a Wells and Wong mystery instead of a Murder Most Unladylike mystery. And it's like a really small difference. Also, the back is completely different. I hadn't noticed that. It's like a really small difference, but I'm a hoarder and I like these books. So I'm glad that we got that one. So that's just going to go straight back on the shelf. But see, it already has a little house. That's how excited I am about that when it already has a gap on the shelf. It's not just going to live on our stairs or on my dresser. But yes, that's very exciting. I just quickly reorganised everything so that I can get to my last stack of books for you. So I will start off with our Waterstones books and then I will move on to our book box books. So Dead or Alive by Derek Landy. This is the penultimate book in the Skullduggery Peasant series. This has gorgeous purple sprayed edges and it came signed. So I thought I would pre-order it. We have all of these books in one form or another. So we've either got the hardbacks of the second half of the series because it finished and then it restarted again. We have the hardbacks of all of those. We have the paperbacks of a few of them. You might be able to see up there just in frame. But we've got most of them on our Kindle. But this is a series that Sean really loves. I still haven't read any of them, but I got this one for him as a little bit of a treat. And it came with a surprise. It came with a print and we weren't expecting it. In the pre-order envelope, it just had a lovely print, so that's really, really cool. Thank you, Waterstones, for that little addition. We then have Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Of course, had to end up getting hold of a copy of this. It came just after I'd filmed my haul last month, so we have had this for a little while. Still haven't read King of Scars, so I'm not going to be picking it up anytime soon. But this, again, is, if I can get to the page, signed. So this matches my Waterstones copy of the first book. And also, amazingly enough, this is the standard hardback and it's got this much foiling on it. Gorgeous. So I'm very glad that I picked that up. I was tempted by the Illumicrate version, but I wanted to get the Waterstones version to match. And I'm glad that I chose to do that. So those are a priority to eventually catch up with. And that also entitled me to get my pre-order incentive, which is a print of the characters. This is Nikolai. There's a wolf and a fox and a bird and a skull, and I think someone said this is Nina from the Six of Crows. I might be lying, because as I said, I haven't read it myself yet. Oh, it's not a bird, it's a dragon. Oh, it's a dragon! Oh, I didn't know there was dragons in it. I'm extra excited. But yes, very beautiful print, so that's very cool. I have a pre-order print to show you, not a pre-order print, I have a pre-order incentive to show you without a book, because I hauled the book last month, and that is my A Court of Silver Flames, an owl pin badge. So this is inspired by A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, and I pre-ordered it, and I got the pin badge this month, which is really awesome. Very detailed and very cute. Putting that back away safely so I don't ruin it. And then for the last of my pre-order incentives this month, I have the Chain of Iron Waterstones exclusive Rune edition, which is stamp signed. I have all of the Rune editions because I just think these are such gorgeous editions. And even though I'm nowhere near caught up on any of the series, I will continue to get them all because I just think they're so beautiful. And I'm not somebody who normally likes naked hardcovers. I normally much prefer having dust jackets. So the fact that these impress me enough that I've got like 10 of them now, yeah, definitely going to be getting these from now on. And because I got Chain of Iron, I got to get my little pre-order incentive, which is a bookmark, and it says secrets consume even the truest love, and it has a little moth cut out in the centre, which is really cute. I feel like I'm never going to be able to use it because it like wobbles and I don't want to risk breaking it. So I'm going to be very, very careful with that. But it's very pretty. So that was exciting. And then I also finally got my copy of The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. This came out in February and I just waited until the shops finally reopened in the middle of April. So this has the bone season clock thing on the foiled, on the hardcover. Again, I have not read any of these yet. I'm just collecting them so that I can eventually read them and I will have matching editions. I'm a hoarder, it's a problem. And this also comes with a signed bookplate, which is gorgeous. And I love bees. If you didn't guess that by the fact that I'm the bumbling blogger and like our intro thing has a bee flying in, I love bees. So as soon as this got announced and it had bees on it, I'm buying it. I was going to buy it anyway, but I'm buying it. It's got bees on it. I love it. So yes, finally managed to get hold of my copy of that, and eventually we'll catch up with that series, I hope. 3 more Waterstones books for you, and then we're moving on to our book box books, and then we'll do the Kindle books, and then I'll let you go. So Sean bought these 2, and I'm not quite sure who inspired him to get them, but he says he's had them recommended to him, and those are Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. So these are classics. One of them is I thought one of them was like a dystopian, but neither of them sound like dystopians. I don't know anything about these. They just arrived and Sean was like, yeah, they're mine. I ordered them. I just did. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Cool. I thought I already owned one of them, but I can't find it anywhere, so I don't mind that he got them. It's just a bit of a surprise. And then I have Dragon Legend by Katie and Kevin Sang, and this is the Waterstones exclusive with the cool dragon scale sprayed pages to match the first copy Dragon Mountain. Again, haven't started the series yet, but I love Catherine Webber's writing, as she writes as Catherine Webber for young adult books, and I loved Wing Jones. It was brilliant, so I'm going to continue to buy everything that she writes, and this is a new series from her, so it's her and her husband writing them together, and I just think that's so cute. But yes, I like dragons, I like sprayed edges, I like scales. This is the book for me. So, now we get on to our book box books, of which we have 3. One of which I should have hauled last month, so we'll haul that one first, and that's Red Tigress by Emilio Benzau. So I had this in my pile. This is in my thumbnail for last month's haul, and somehow it slipped under everything else on the sofa and I just forgot to talk about it. So I'm going to fix that now. This is the sequel to Blood Heir. I loved Blood Heir. I thought it was brilliant. And also, it has the drippy sprayed pages like Blood Heir, but when you put them together, Blood Heirs sit slightly higher up, so it's getting like bloodier as it goes on. So I hope book 3 is like right down here. That would be really, really cool, because then you could line them up and be like, yeah, I like that. So I can't really say anything about this one because it is a sequel, but it is signed and it's beautiful. And thank you, Illumicrate, for always going above and beyond with your special editions. I love that. Then we have the 2 books that were featured in this month's book box battle, so I will link that for you if you would like to see the unboxings of everything that came with these. With these gorgeous purple edges, we have Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tully. As far as I'm aware, this is lesbian rap, and 2 girls who are witches fall in love. I might be wrong, but it looks like it's going to be romantic. It is signed, and I'm sure there's like a bow on the front cover as well, which is really cute. I've heard this is like hedge witch magic and it's quite cozy, and I've heard some good things, some average things, so I'm interested to read it and make up my own mind. And then the Illumicrate book for last month, which was The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This has the gorgeous dark red, kind of almost burgundy edges. I think it has, yes, Every Empire Demands Revolution. Now that is an amazing under the dust jacket. It's got like the cutlasses and it's really cool. There's a girl called Terrain. She is a soldier. There is a boy called Luca. He does stuff. I've seen people say this is amazing. I was planning on reading it with the Illumicrate read along, but we had too much going on in April to squeeze it in. But I would like to read this one sooner rather than later because I'm hearing very good things about it, and it is the first in the Magic of the Lost series. So there is going to be a sequel to this one coming at some point, probably next year, but this is a debut, so it is already making some waves for a first novel. And now, with all of those done, I will unpile books from my legs and tell you about the Kindle books that we bought this month. So I only got 5 books on my Kindle this month. Only, she says, after already hauling 34 books for you. But this month I got on my Kindle Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. This is the 4th book in the Red Queen series, and I'm currently reading King's Cage. This is the next book I need to get to. I don't know why I didn't buy a physical copy of this at the time, because I have matching paperbacks, like tall paperbacks at the first 3, and I just never got a copy of this 4th one. So at least I have the series complete now. We hold Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 2nd book in the Stormlight Archives series. I think it's the 2nd. Yeah, it's definitely the 2nd. We hauled Way of Kings the month before on Kindle. And spoiler alert for our May book haul, we've managed to haul Words of Radiance, which is book 3, today. So hopefully we'll be able to get book 4 in the series on Kindle Daily Deal next month, and then we will have the whole Stormlight Archives series ready to read. The next Kindle book that we hauled this month was Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. So Sean got me one of Haruki Murakami's non-fiction books for Christmas, and so when I saw this on the Kindle Daily Deal, I asked him if he was interested and he said yes. It was only 99p, I don't know anything about it, but I've heard really good things about Murakami's writing, that it's kind of magical realism and it's quite trippy. So I'm interested in trying it out. We also have The Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell. This is the first book in a series. I don't know anything about it. It was just on Kindle Daily Deal and it was 99p. And the morning that I saw it, I also saw somebody haul a sprayed Purple Pages edition of the hardback of book 2 in the Illumicrate Discord. So I was like, well, this is fate. I only saw the first book in the series a couple of hours ago and now somebody's hauling book 2. And so I thought I'd get excited and also buy it. And the last book that we have for you this month is Between Ink and Shadows by Melissa Wright. So, funny story, I got this one free on Kindle, but when I got it, I was reading a book by someone called Melissa Wren, and I thought it was the same author. It's not the same author. I had no idea what this one is about, but the cover's pretty cool, and it was free, so I'm happy to have it anyway. It was free. It's fine. So I hope that you enjoyed this book haul. I'm sorry that it got a little bit out of control. If you have hauled any of these books or read any of these books and would recommend them, then please let us know down in the description. Gonna have to try and work out where to tackle them or what to read first, so please let us know. Please help us. If you like this video, then please give it a like, and if you would like to subscribe, we would be super duper grateful. We post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, so we'll see you in a couple of days with the next one. Bye! Books are falling. Move those over there. Right.